I'm Kelly, and this is my husband, Nathan.
Bought a condo in Foothill Ranch. We're super pumped about, and so now we have our first home.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Charlotte, and this is Nick, and we bought our first home last year with Casey.
My name is Troy.
I'm Lauren.
And we just bought our first home in September 2019. We're super excited about it.
Well, we started looking way in advance in order to buy our first home. So we just wanted to see what the market was like. We didn't even know really anything about the process.
It was good to get an idea of what fit our budget and allowed us to then go find out what we really wanted, because we didn't really have an idea of, one bath or two bath or three baths, and do we need a garage or not? And oh, you know what? We probably do need a garage. So it was a really good experience to start to hone in on what was important to Kelly and what was important to I about our first home.
Some things we did to prepare to buy our first home were speak with a few lenders, kind of scope out the market, determine a purchase price, and from there on, Casey and his team helped us identify a handful of properties.
I mean, obviously, when you first look into the process, it's pretty daunting sometimes. It can be overwhelming. And I think, aside from looking at all the usual real estate sites that are out there, pretty much understanding, what you're looking for, what your needs are, and who can really help you, find exactly what you're looking for. It was super big for us. I think having a personal touch was super important for us as well.
When we started to get a feel for what we thought we might have a chance to get into, it was really helpful to reach out and create a relationship with an agent that could then hone our attention into specifics within that market. Then it was really helpful to have somebody guide us through the process of identifying specific properties that fit those categories, and because there's a wide variety of those types of properties as far as the condos go.
Yeah, our experience in looking for our first home was great, but it definitely took an experienced agent to do it to help us out. I have to say, I'm probably not the easiest buyer to deal with. Just very specific with what we were looking for, and the type of home and the areas that we were looking for. So having someone like Casey was great to kind of guide us in the right direction.
Our process was a little unique too. I think when we kind of honed in on what we were looking for and the needs that we had, it was one of those things where you have all this information, you need some way to kind of bounce feedback off of, and kind of say, okay, what can we do here to put an offer in? What can we do? What's feasible? What's viable? And that was super important for us. So I think definitely having a person who's well more experienced than I am in home buys was super helpful for us.
Yeah, the process for our place, we had multiple people that were offering, and so we didn't really know what that meant. Do we need to be the highest offer? Do we need to be, should we just consider what we're most comfortable with? So to have somebody there and to have Danny there to guide us through the process of what specific number should you go with was super helpful. It made it a lot less stressful on our end to try to be the top number, and most importantly, to just be a value or an offer that we were most comfortable with. That was nice to have some confidence built into us through Danny that allowed us to feel confident with the offer that we ended up making.
Since we didn't know a lot about the process at all, a lot of the terms and the terminology, it was so foreign to me. You probably knew more than I did, but I probably asked Danny, what's a PMI, like 5 times? Like, what is it? And like, what kind of taxes are we needing to think about, and insurance, and all those questions that they're all huge when they're factored into your monthly payment. So it was like you can call them hidden fees or whatever you want to call them, things that you don't think about when you're estimating your monthly mortgage. So Danny kept being like, well, this is actually what you're going to be paying. So we weren't just in la la land, more realistic.
Having a local agent was super beneficial for us. The house that we identified and went into escrow on, we had a kind of a unique situation with the seller, someone who wasn't super computer savvy, and the agent on the other side actually knew Casey and Gary directly. That was incredibly beneficial. I don't know if we would have been able to do it so smoothly. We had a super short escrow, 21 days. We were ready to close a few days before that because of Casey and his team, knowing the other agent, kind of pushing them along because they had that personal relationship in the past.
I think having a realtor is super important. I think when you're working 9 to 5, you have a busy schedule, you're trying to look at what your needs are and looking for homes, and it's really important to kind of have a trusted advisor next to you. So someone who can kind of work around the clock and after working hours to make sure that you have what you need is super important. And I think we're really grateful that we found a really great real estate service here, and to make sure that we got what we needed. That was great.
Something we learned as first-time homebuyers that we didn't know going into it is it's not as scary as you think. Especially if you have someone that's experienced and knowledgeable about the process, it makes things 1,000 times easier. The whole process going in, when we first started without an agent, was extremely intimidating. And then as soon as we built our relationship with Danny and sought out advice and her expertise in the market and the area, it made things a lot simpler. From identifying a property we wanted to make an offer on, to deciding on what our offer was going to be, to going back and forth with the other realtor and the property owner in regards to going through the full escrow process. We would have been pretty lost going through that process if we didn't have Danny. So it was extremely comforting to have someone that was knowledgeable about it.
Something that kind of shocked us as a first-time home buyer that we thought we knew that we didn't know was having not only just a local agent to kind of guide us, but the inspection process was crucial. I didn't realize how in-depth it would be, how in detail it would be, and having an inspector that Casey and Gary knew personally was crucial in having the inspection done properly and on time and giving us the right guidance to proceed in escrow.
Something we learned. We learned a lot, didn't we?
We did learn a lot. We're still learning.
Exactly. I think what I will always tell people is ask questions. Ask so many questions. No questions are out of the realm of possibility. If you don't ask, it could be that little voice in the back of your head later saying, "Oh, I should have asked that before." We actually put an offer in or purchase a home. So I realized from the get-go, ask a lot of questions. Be open-minded too. No, you're not going to walk into the first home you see and this is going to work. It's a process, and trusting the process. I feel like the average person only buys 2-3 homes in a lifetime if they're lucky. So you want to make sure that milestone works for you and you have some fun with it too. That was super important for us.
We are extremely happy and grateful for Gary Ward Properties and Danny as our agent. She helped us so much every step of the way. For me, was just keeping me calm and comforted that everything's gonna be okay, just one step at a time. We never looked too far in the future. She wouldn't let us, our minds start racing. Very simple process. So I'm super grateful and appreciate it.
Yeah, from the team at Gary Ward Properties to our realtor Danny specifically, they made the process from start to finish very easy and took a lot of stress off of our plate. Both of us working full time, we were able to put a lot in their hands that they took care of it for us, and we were able to trust them going through the process, which for us as a first-time home buyer was a big deal. So to be able to go through that process with Gary Ward Properties and Danny was exceptional, and I highly, highly recommend them for anyone else looking for a property.
We are very happy with the experience and very thankful that Casey was our agent. He was always on top of everything, and he was working with us the whole time, and everything was so easy and perfect. We're very happy.
I think we're definitely super thrilled with Gary Ward Properties and Danny and the group here. We wanted it to be a partnership from day one and really, hone in on our needs and put an offer in and finally closing escrow. It was, super exciting for us. So I'm really, really grateful that we found a great fit for us. And we'll definitely keep Gary Ward and the team in mind, when we come on our next home. Who knows what the future may hold.